Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. I have no idea why I am not in my own live, but for some reason I am not. I think I didn't do the horizontal when I reset it up. This is absolutely horrible. So anyway, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday.
Good morning.
Today is May 31st. I have my beautiful co-host here with me, Wanda Wallis, and we are going to be going over what's happening, hot topics, what's going on in the news. Absolutely. Thank you for showing everybody the back of our room. You know what? I think we're going to probably have to go out of it and come back in. So anyway, but this is a beautiful Saturday, you guys. Summer, we are approaching it. We are in spring. We are getting there,
It's
there.
hot.
It is very hot, I gotta say. And I'm in here sweating. I got the fan pump going. You know, I'm a little premenopausal.
No air though, because somebody won't turn on the air.
I will not be turning on the air unless you're gonna be dropping Peggy.
See, because I came in here and I said, "Oh, sauna time."
No, I am contemplating doing solar and going solar because almost all of my neighbors have it and they love it. And this is just it's
We
not
have it
tenable.
at my house.
Do you?
Yes, but I still, can't run the air all the time.
Okay.
Because
Larry, slavery is over. She is free. I saw her papers 3 weeks ago. You let her have some air. Amistad. All right. All right, you guys. Good morning. We're going to talk about some of the local events that are going on here locally in our town and around the Bay Area as well. So let's talk about the month of June that's coming up because we're pretty much done with the month of May. It came and it went so fast. June 1st is the starting of a lot of different things that are going on for the month of June. First off, let's talk about these months and the various different things that are being celebrated and recognized and all those different things. So the month of June has been recognized as Pride Month. So June 1st in the city of Sassoon, down by the waterfront, they're going to be having, the Solano Pride is having a Pride Festival. So if you guys are interested, go check it out. The weather should be beautiful. That's on the first day of June at the Sassoon City waterfront, which is beautiful down there. Overlook the homeless, just step over them. And enjoy. There's going to be vendors, informational vendors. And then you can find some new information out that you didn't know about your brethren and ask questions. This is where you ask questions so we can get familiar and get to know each other. So take the time to do that. Also, June is recognized as Juneteenth. Well, not the whole month of June, but June 19th is Juneteenth. And for those of you who don't know what Juneteenth is, I'm going to go into more detail on June 7th. But there are two Juneteenth celebrations that we are supporting, and we are encouraging folks to support only. There is a Juneteenth on June 15th in American Canyon. The wonderful Brenda Knight is putting that on. She's also working with the American Canyon Arts Foundation. Absolute, wonderful woman. This is her 4th year of doing it. So the Solano County Black Chamber of Commerce, we're going to support them as well. And then there is the June 22nd, there is another Juneteenth that's going to be taking place at Solano Christian Academy at 2200 Fairfield Avenue. So there are a lot of wonderful things that are going to be going on. So I absolutely hope that you guys can jump in there with us and celebrate and get to know other people in the community, but also know what that holiday is about. So let's talk about a couple of more events that are going on. There is, I don't know if you guys venture often into Vacaville if you don't live here, but there's a wonderful restaurant by the name of Moxie's downtown, 555 Main Street. Delicious food. I go there often, and I know the owner, Jason. He's awesome.
They have comedy there or shows.
Well, they're doing Sunday jazz brunch there on Sunday tomorrow. It starts at 10 a.m. So if you guys are interested, if you haven't checked it out, you should check it out just for whips and giggles. But the food is delicious. The atmosphere is great. Jason is there. He's always very friendly. He goes around to the different tables. I love that. Yeah. So he's awesome and personable. And then same day he's having a Sunday night barbecue. And so on the Sunday night barbecue, he's gonna have it there at Moxie's. It's something new that he's trying, but try it out if you guys get a chance. The food is delicious, and he has an ice creamery that he put in the back of his restaurant. He's very creative and innovative. I got to tell you, he's extremely he's an extremely smart businessman. So, gotta respect that. A couple other things that are going on. June 26th at the Fairfield Armory, the Solano County Black Chamber, we're having a mixer. So if you guys are a small business, we don't care if you're black, white, purple, green, yellow, orange, or or undecided. That's right. You come on down. It's gonna be the Fairfield Armory at 4400 Abernathy Road, across from the car dealerships, on the little auto mall area. So you guys come on down and meet some other businesses. We're gonna have free food there and just have some fellowship. A few vendors, but mostly vendors that can help support your business and what that looks like. So come on down and then go from there. Let's see, Wanda, did you have anything?
I just want to say hi. I just got back from vacation, so I've been gone a couple of weeks, enjoying myself.
Nice.
Sedona for a little bit. Oh gosh, the allergies were really kicking in there.
No doubt.
We went to Scottsdale and then ended up in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
My niece was graduating from high school, so we went there. It was a big production.
Oh, wow.
Now graduations are really, really big.
They are.
And I have to tell you, and we stayed at this resort, timeshare resort, and it was nice. The first we got there, the first part of the week, it was very nice because there was hardly anybody there, but that reminded us, don't travel on holiday weekends.
Correct.
So by the time Friday rolled around, oh my gosh, we couldn't. The kids were swimming in the sauna, in the spa.
Right.
They just turned it off and were just, stroking in the. It was so many people, and then at one point, I think I told you, it was so funny. We got on the elevator, and this guy gets in wearing a ski mask.
Oh.
And, I mean, a black ski mask. Now, this is Vegas, 100 degrees, and you're in the elevator. My brother looks over at him and said, "Hey, you're not thinking about robbing us, are you?" And the guy said, and it kind of shocked me because I thought, oh, he could be. But no, he took off his ski mask. He said he was just wearing it. Hey, things in Vegas that you see.
And look, and let it stay in Vegas.
Let it stay in
Vegas. Like a
Vegas.
complete macadamia, as hot as it is. Out in, I will say this. My son was asking me about doing camping this year, and I'm not a camper. I'm not that girl. But,
thank you. Motel 6 is camping.
Right. But we have definitely done it, and we've usually done it with like a mobile home or something of that nature. But one of the things that has really deterred me from doing a lot of stuff is I don't want to be out with people's kids. They don't watch them. These little crumb snatchers are animals at home.
Wait.
These little crumb snatchers are animals at home. So when they come out in public, they're bigger animals. And I don't want to be around that. I don't want your kids running around. I was just at some establishment a couple of days ago. The lady's at the counter. She's got a baby in a stroller. And her son, who's probably no more than 3, is running up and down the aisle. And she's at the counter, not paying any attention to him. Somebody could have snatched him and walked straight on out.
Nobody wanted him.
Nobody wanted him. I can assure you they'd have brought him back with a note and a flower. But I'm leaving, and he's just running up and down. And I'm like, where's your mother? Go find your mother.
Yeah.
Because one, somebody could snatch him and take him out, which I was least concerned with because they would bring him back with a note. But even more so is that when you go out to these places, even if they're recreational places, it doesn't mean your kids don't have to have manners and level of respect. And we just don't have that here.
Well, that's
anymore.
what it is. They don't respect anybody else's space.
Yeah.
You hear it all the time on the airlines where some kid is sitting behind you, kicking the seat, and the mother says nothing.
Absolutely.
Usually it's only a mother.
Absolutely.
So she says nothing, and if you say something, they're upset. It's like, why do I want your kid kicking me?
Absolutely. And so it's made it not as fun, going and being places, because then I got to give the evil eye to your kids, because I am. I got to give the evil eye to you and everybody that's with you, because you didn't, give your kids, and even if it's at a recreational place. So right. I'm with you on that. So anyway. let's move over to a little bit of entertainment. I want to see what you think about some things that are happening and going on in the news. That's breaking down in the news. So, something I got excited about was the Chrisleys getting pardoned.
Oh, yes.
So I want to know what you thought about that because one, I thought they came after whoever it was, came after them so hard and so aggressively.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. But they said it came from an ex-employee.
Yes.
And allegedly. Allegedly it came from an ex-employee.
Well, I think they did show him testifying.
And that allegedly their daughter, the oldest daughter, had something to do with it. I mean, that's his family dysfunction.
Oh, the one that doesn't mix with the family.
Exactly. I think there's some jealousy with the younger kids, but that tends to happen when I think people get remarried and the older ones feel like they've moved, like they've separated them out. But anyway, so President Trump pardoned Julie and Todd Chrisley. So tell me what you thought about it, because I was kind of excited about it for them.
Well, when it popped up, I thought, I had forgotten that they were in prison. I know they were trying to get out. I really didn't. I wasn't upset about it. I mean, I thought they've been in there. People have done far worse in business and everything, and they don't even go to jail.
Right.
So it did seem like they were after them for some other reason other than that. So I didn't have a problem. I said, hey, go and sin no more, okay? Have a good life.
Absolutely, right. So I was excited about that because I agree with you. And I was shocked, especially them being wealthy. But I do think that the father, the main character, is, very, I hate the word diverse, but he is very diverse in his approach to life. And sometimes when you are not, fundamentally one way, people don't know what to do with that or how to handle it. So I was glad to hear about that. Now, what's been in the news a lot is trans athletes.
Yes.
So I want to know what you think about it. I mean, listen, folks, when you hear about this and you watch this, put your comments on YouTube.
Send them to her.
Yeah, no, just put them on YouTube. I mean, don't send me nothing dumb because I'm going to do nothing but block you. I don't have time for that.
That's true.
But I want to know what people think about it. This is what I think. I think everything should have its own category. And I think if you are a man, sorry, and you are now representing as a woman, that is your absolute unmitigated right to do so. And hats off to you.
But we should have your category.
But you should have a category, and the reason is that men's bone structure is different from a woman. But I want you to look at the majority of these trans athletes who are men now representing as women.
I don't ever hear about any women going over to play with men.
I haven't either.
Not even tennis, nothing.
Yeah.
You don't hear about them trying to do that.
I haven't either.
Everybody wants to gravitate to the women's sport. I think there's two reasons, so you guys can hate if you want. Call tomorrow.
Don't call me, call her.
But it's been proven that some of them just decided that so that they could, hang out in
Allegedly.
Well, no, some have been caught.
Allegedly. Not today.
Okay. Next week I'll have to pull up the evidence for you guys.
Well, here is what I have found to be more so true, more so than not. That allegedly.
We always have to say allegedly.
Listen, don't send me nothing. But here is that they failed miserably in athletics as men, and the scorage was significantly low. Now I haven't gone through and done the research. I don't have that level of interest. But what I have done, and if somebody has the stats, please send them to me at Wanda at...
No. You better stop that.
No, you have the stats perfect. Send them to me. I'd love to know what that is. But when you look at it, they've already competed as men and have done horribly competing as men. Men's bone structure and body structure is very different from women. Even if you are taking transitioning medications, your body structure and skeletal structure is that of a man. So it's easy to come into a woman's sport that is made for women and their body and their chromosome structure and beat them and drag them across the field.
Well, you know, for example, the girl that just lost in high school, I think she lost in the long jump too.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if you got a 6'2" man and you got a 5'4" or 5 woman, even if they have the same strength and ability, he's going to be longer, so he's going to go farther.
Yeah, but it's
in that. It's
yeah.
gonna, yeah. I don't believe in it. I think there should be their own category. So I know
agree.
a lot of people don't agree, but if your child were against that person, I think you'd change your tune on that.
Well, do you see the man that transitioned to a woman that was boxing and was pulverizing women in the ring?
Now, I would not want my daughter in a ring with some guy that says he's a girl now.
Yeah.
And he still looks like a guy.
Or it's a lot. I mean, listen, if anybody has, and this is how fair and equitable I am, if anyone has stats on this, if I am misstating anything, I don't want to hear your opinion because I have my own opinions. Mm-hmm. If you have scientific data that shows that when a man transitions to a woman, that he becomes, his whole skeletal makeup is now that of a woman, please show that to me. I don't think that's something we're going to find. So I think it's fair that if you are transitioning, that you have your own category, because I just think it would be fair for everyone if that happens. I think if you're transitioning, you have your own bathroom. We have a concept in this country now that, and it's only for some groups, that if I say it's wrong, it's wrong. Mm-hmm. And if I want it, I should get it. Well, if you should get it, then what do we do with me? Then I don't matter. Right. So the best way, I think, to make sure that everybody is treated fairly is making sure everybody has their own lane.
Especially when it comes to the locker rooms and that in the girls' sports, you have one person here that says, I should be treated fairly, and you've got 30 other people that say, we don't feel safe. Now, why does his wanting to be there when they're going to give him a nice space of his own or her own, why does that trump these 30 other people that don't feel safe?
Because we now live in a society where people like to fight and force and bully and this, that, and the other. Let me just jump over to this. This is not entertainment news, but since we're talking about this really quickly, that in the city of Vacaville, there's been a consistent conversation about the proclamation with the mayor of Vacaville, Mayor Carley. And so the gay community is pressuring the mayor to sign a proclamation. They had, and I'm not saying right, wrong, or indifferent. They've been pressuring about a flag. They have the flag that's up. I don't know if it runs for the whole month, but I think Gay Pride is for the whole month. And so, kind of, this is where, and I'm just going to segue really quickly and we're going to move on. This is where I got off the boat for DEI, right? I was initially a proponent because I was facilitating diversity, equity, inclusion. And then it became a you owe us versus thing. Anytime you are trying to force, bully, and push someone into your way of thinking, you're always going to get more resistance. And we are living in a space, and we're living in a political climate where it has been okay to bully and tell people I can be whatever I want to be, and now you have to accept it, and if you don't accept it. I don't believe in that. I don't believe anybody has to accept the fact that I'm black. I don't think you have to like me because I'm black. Right. That to me is the biggest fallacy. I don't need you to do anything for me because of slavery. I was never a slave. I wasn't in slavery. I don't know what it feels like. I try to take the best opportunity and advantage of the opportunities that I have now.
Any slaves.
I don't. None of it. My son and daughter would like to think that they are, but I digress. But I think the way that you make way more traction, the way that you pull people in more, is the ability to have a conversation. And DEI went down like the Titanic, is going down like the Titanic, not because the world is filled with races, but when you take anything and you make it us versus them, or you tell people you're going to bully people into anything, I didn't think that was the thing, or the flag that black people should have fell up on is DEI. I think we should always expect to be treated with fairness and respect, but it's also how it's done. And it became kind of like a bully pulpit, where if that I get this and I should get this. So that's kind of something that's going on in Vacaville right now. But I feel like it's the kind of the same thing with the trans athletes. And so I totally respect your right to transition and be whoever, and I'm going to respect that. I'm not going to do pronouns and stuff, but I'm going to respect if you say whoever you are. I respect that is who you are.
Right.
But I think you should have your own category. Then that way you feel respected and you feel it's not segregating you.
And the competition is fair.
The competition is fair. Then you are winning or getting beat with people who have the same genetic structure and makeup, and now you know that you really are good at that sport. You beating some girl, that's got listen, breasts are a heavy load to carry on you when you're a woman. Let me tell you this, I haven't ran since 1903. Listen, I got D cups. That ain't happening. So I don't even skip. We got a whole bunch that we got to do. We got hips. We got a lot that's going on that men are straight up and down and don't have to worry about. So anyway, but thank you guys again for joining us on Power 88.fm. I'm your host, Tamori Richardson. This is Tea Talk, a Global Vibe. I'm with my co-host, Wanda Wallis. For those of you who are on live, we're getting ready to take an ad break. For those of you on YouTube, stay tuned with us. Let's continue to move forward in our entertainment communication. Stephen A. Smith, you know who he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
ESPN guy.
Yep.
So he said he should run for president.
Okay.
I didn't like the look that she just gave. So if some way, Mr. Smith, this passes you, I will send you Wanda's email address, I think.
I'm just surprised and shocked, okay?
I gotta tell you, during the election process, he had some great insight.
Oh, he did.
Now, I wouldn't vote for him.
But that doesn't make you, president. But I did like his comments. He was fair.
I thought so too.
He called it on both sides.
He did, yeah.
So,
but we don't want you running for nothing.
No.
Yeah, no, we don't want you doing that. We like you on ESPN. We love your shock value. I love his nephew Josh that comes on. He's absolutely hilarious. Stay in the lane in which you are good at.
Right.
But he's changing to Republican now.
Really?
He is. He's been he's moving. Now I didn't know. Yeah, but you know what though? Listen, a lot of people are thinking that just because people are not liking some of the things that the president is doing,
right,
that everybody is defecting from him. I don't feel that way. I mean, there's some things that I'm like, I don't know if we want to spend time on that. But I do think that there are quite a few things that he's doing that I think are moving us towards a better direction, whether we see it right now or not.
You know what I've always had a problem with is I think it goes back to what Joe Biden said. If you don't vote for him, then you're not black. And why is it that it seems like anywhere you go, you cannot be a conservative, you cannot be an independent, you cannot be a Republican. You have to be a Democrat if you're black. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
We can't think for ourselves.
I agree with you. Welcome back, Power 88.fm. You are live on Tea Talk, a Global Vibe. Thank you so much for joining us this Saturday morning. You know, Wanda, I agree with you. I think there has been a concept for many years that if you are a person of color, that you would be a Democrat. Because I got to tell you, people are shocked that I'm neither party. I've said this enough.
But originally, blacks were Republicans.
Yeah, but what does that got to do with anything?
Well, now suddenly, if you're black, you have to be a Democrat.
Well, the Republican Party, I mean, every party, every few centuries or so, there's a shift in the party change. Yeah. I think it's time to switch to an independent party. It just happens to be.
But why can't you just disagree? So you can't disagree with. It's just crazy where you don't have a voice of your own. It has to be a herd mentality.
So let me ask you this: are you comfortable stating what your political party is?
I'm a conservative, so I voted Republican.
Okay. And so do you feel that as...
now I have, and I want to clarify, I have voted Democrat. I will vote for anybody if I feel they're right.
Okay. That's what it should be about. Who is the best candidate? Mm-hmm. But there is a perception if you're black that you're Democrat.
Oh yeah, all the time.
And I burn that down. I think the Democrats have just done... We don't have that kind of time, but we get there. And listen, the Republicans are no better. So I don't think one is better over the other, but I do think that one party has contributed to a lot of foolishness. They're both two very divisive parties, I believe. Neither one of them are about bringing this country together or people together. And one of my biggest problems with the Democratic Party, and I just wanted, this came up because of Stephen A. Smith, is that we are so out of control just in California because, and I'm not going to go too far down this rabbit hole, but when you think that anybody should be able to do or be anything they want or do anything they want to because they say so, you are insane. And that's the Democratic Party. We've talked about this before. People that go around representing as animals, you can only do that in the Democratic Party. You can only, it's insane to
furry,
me.
If you didn't know the proper name. They're
it is who else? That to me
is mental illness.
Child. All right. See, stuff falling apart. Okay.
Hey, my earring dropped off. Okay. About that.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up entertainment, but I want to talk about, have you been watching the P. Diddy trial any?
I don't really look at it.
I haven't been watching it either, but I've been watching snippets of it, and I don't know what's going on 100%. But let me tell you why I am not completely dialed into this. And a friend of mine was telling me all the things that he thought it was. All I'm hearing right now is a bad relationship with him and Cassie that included domestic violence, a little bit of dirty.
Okay.
I mean, some freaks, which they are entitled to be. Listen, I don't know what's wrong with the freak off. I'm just saying. I'm saying I don't know what's wrong with it if they're all agreeing to do it. I'm not saying I would do it.
They didn't say they all agreed to do it.
All I'm hearing about is her and the domestic violence. So this is why I'm like, is this a domestic violence trial? If he's done other stuff to tie us into it, let us know what that other stuff is.
I think it's all deeper than what we can see.
But we should hear it at a trial, yes?
I think it's deeper power players underneath.
Oh, I agree with that too.
And now, if you ever notice
that
all of the people in Hollywood entertainment, they all get their day. They rise up so high, they do the deeds for whoever the puppeteer is, and then when it's their time to go and be replaced, they're gone.
Well, I'm a little shocked because R. Kelly had a trial that was like 2 days, and it was like, you go to prison, you don't never get out.
Yeah, but he didn't have as many people connected to him that could take a fall. So they could get rid of him, sweep him under the carpet real quick.
Free R. Kelly.
So, I know. R. Kelly, we feel for you. You were bad, but we still feel.
Why is my engineer looking at me when I said free R. Kelly? Listen.
Well, hey.
R. Kelly has diagnosed mental illness at the very least. That should have been taken into consideration. If you don't know anything about mental health, he's diagnosed bipolar disorder, it was stated. And that everything that he was doing falls within that way. Free R. Kelly. Okay, so anyway, allegedly. No, but anyway, so I'm just saying, I would love for it to stick more to what is this about, so I can kind of figure it out. But
it's
anyway,
about things deeper that we don't know and probably couldn't handle.
I agree, because, yeah. Okay, well, listen, let's dabble into a little bit of politics as we all tend to do, as we were doing. Now, I know you were traveling the 7 seas for this past few weeks. But did you hear about the new bill that's coming out from the California State Assembly?
Oh, that's a scary thought. And what is this one?
This bill is about... It is something stupid. This bill is about if young people are truant from school, that not only will they not be held accountable, but their parents won't. And that's my interpretation of it.
So nobody is held accountable?
No.
But then we want to claim that, we're the disadvantaged, nobody helps us, nobody does anything for us, but we're never held accountable for anything, nor the parents.
Let me tell you, it's Assembly Bill 461, it's a truancy bill.
Who wrote it?
Assembly member Patrick Athens, he's a Democratic assemblyman.
Where is he from?
Oh, I don't know, I didn't even look that up. Clearly from a stupid town that has a bunch of dumb kids.
Okay.
But this is one of the things I was saying, and I said this last week. One of the things that I did like that ex-Vice President Kamala Harris did in San Francisco that the parents were held accountable if their kids was running the streets naked.
Should be.
And so I think a bill like this, now this is if they're chronically absent. If they're chronically absent, there's a problem at home. That should be common sense. But I find that instead of holding people accountable, we're always trying to, put a Band-Aid on the boo-boo and brush over it. So I don't know if you heard about that.
I didn't hear about that one, but that's pretty stupid. Why would you want to do that? So now that's going to create a bunch of people that have no education. Now they're living on assistance or pillaging and plundering the rest of us, and then end up in jail. Well,
is this a 1700 village?
What else could they do? You have no skills, no life skills.
Well,
no.
They say they gonna pull out pitchforks and hay.
It's really sad. And then what do they become?
Yeah.
State has to take care of them.
Yeah.
Either outside or behind bars.
Right. I mean, we're the 16th on education level. We're 16, so we're not knocking out geniuses anyway. Stuff like this doesn't encourage it. But when we're also sending out messages of, oh, go to the trades. You don't have to get an education, which I'm firmly against sending kids to the trades.
But I think some people, that's what they want. I mean,
want what?
Some kids, like say if you have a son that always works on cars, always does that. That is his passion. Why not let him do that? He's not going to want to go to college.
Why is he not going to want to go to college?
Maybe he wants to just do that and have his own automotive shop.
Well, he couldn't be my son.
Okay.
Because everybody getting a degree up in chill.
Well, hey, like I said, there are places, and I know a few people that never went to college, but they have plumbing businesses and have a fleet. I know one person in particular has a fleet of plumbing trucks.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's what he wanted to do. And do you think he's got money now? Yes.
That's not everybody's story. That's not the average
Like everybody's
person.
not going to be a famous baseball, football, basketball player.
Well, I get that, but here's what college does give you.
I have nothing against college. I graduated.
Sounds like she do.
I graduated from college.
Wanda and Wanda hates school.
I graduated from college. Okay, so that's
right.
nothing.
No, I agree with you, but here's what I'm saying is that school teaches you social skills. It helps with your social skills. It teaches you hopefully conflict resolution. It teaches you how to be.
Not anymore.
Well, why not?
Because now it's like you gotta.
We're talking about college though, and communications is a part of the curriculum. You have to take interpersonal communications, public speaking. It's a lot of things that you're not gonna get from just doing blue collar work, and it gets you prepared in a better way. I think specifically sending minority kids to trade programs. Yes, they're gonna make good money. I just saw something for a plumber. They're paying $88 an hour in the union for the trades. But here's the thing. You are forever training workers. It's not teaching entrepreneurship. It's not teaching individuality. You are always working for someone and taking orders.
Now that I agree.
And it's predominantly pushed on kids of color. It is not predominantly pushed on, and this is not us versus them. This is just the reality. So we're telling black kids and Hispanic kids, don't go to college, go to the trades, and guess what? You're jumping around from unions to union and work site to work site, taking orders. Where does that teach you to have the confidence and ability? And then guess what? Your back's breaking at 50.
Well, maybe this is when I went to school a long time ago in high school. So they taught you trades there. That was part of it, and they taught you how to interact with people. We don't have any of that anymore.
No.
So you're not trained on how to be a successful person in life. You learn that in high school. To a certain degree, you were training up to that, and then you went on to college and went to the next level. But we don't teach any of that because remember, you can be truant and nobody cares.
Right, you can run through the streets naked and can't read. Gotcha. All right, let's go ahead and move along. So, have you heard about the Assembly member Tina McKinnon? Okay, these Assembly women is coming out left and right.
Oh, now where is she from?
Inglewood, where I was born. Always up to no good.
Oh, I just left Inglewood.
Did you? Well, you were in her town. And so let me tell you what she's doing because I want your take on this. And we talked about this.
She just wants me to, say something.
You know what? Listen.
Okay, go ahead.
Allegedly. Okay.
Allegedly, I see your picture.
So, she is, okay, let me just tell you what this is. So she's a part of the reparations legislation.
Oh, no, not that
one. And so there has been some reparations, something that's been approved.
Oh, I heard a little bit about that. Oh. It was passed or approved or something.
Yeah, so let me tell you what it is. Okay, so let's see. Historic legislation by Assembly Member Tina McKenna, she's a Democrat in Inglewood, to repair harm inflicted on California descendants of formerly enslaved people was overwhelmingly approved by the state assembly on Thursday. Now, I want to stop there before we get into what the bills are and what's been authored.
Why don't the slave states do this?
But it says, okay, so this is what I'm going to ask you. It says repair harm inflicted on California descendants of formerly enslaved people. So does this mean
what harm?
I'm a California descendant, and if my people were slaves someplace else,
right?
This helps me?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Well, I don't understand that. How and where are you getting the money?
Okay, well, I just wanted to understand what it was. Okay.
That makes no sense.
Okay, well, let me tell you what the bill is. It's AB 57 and AB 62. Both of these bills were authored by Assembly Member McKenna. They are part of the California Legislative Black Caucus, and it's called Road to Repair Legislative Package. So let me tell you what both of these bills are. AB 57 will address systemic inequities in home ownership by reserving a portion of the funds within California Home Purchase Assistance Programs.
Oh, remember we did that a while back with, what was his name, Bernie or Barney, and the market crash?
Girl, did you call him Barney?
You know what I'm talking about.
No parts.
Hey, my memory's getting
Barney Sanders. Okay.
Yeah. No, not Bernie Sanders. Oh gosh, I can't think of the guy. He's
clearly. Okay.
But they wanted to give everybody a chance to buy a home. You could have your credit score could be 20, and they gave it to you. You could have no job.
Where
no
was
money.
this? I didn't hear about this.
This was before the big crash because they
in
said
2008.
Yeah, it was before that they started giving out loans to everybody, and that is what contributed because everybody.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with this.
You're saying you're trying to make housing and everything equity, so then we're just giving people.
Yeah,
stuff.
but the 2008 wasn't about equity; it was about lenders and them making money.
Right, but they were giving it to unqualified people, which started.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is here, so then we're just giving people a house.
Well, they're saying they're reserving a portion of the funds within California. I was reading it until you started attacking me with Barney.
How do I qualify?
This targeted approach, acknowledges the historical harms caused by slavery and systemic racism and aims to provide reparative housing assistance. AB 57 was approved on a vote of 52 to 10.
Well, we know that.
And we do know that there was major redlining. There was a lot of redlining here, so we do understand that there was a element where specifically Black Americans, as we're talking about this, even up to current, have had problems with redlining or
around all the cities.
Yes, absolutely. So we get that. We do understand there has been, because I just want to acknowledge what is and what isn't. We do acknowledge that. Okay, so then it starts talking about today. Okay, so let's go into the next bill. AB 62, which is the second one she authored, will provide a pathway for victims of racially motivated eminent domain to seek and readdress the harm caused to their families. Now, let me tell you why this is bull and some crap.
Oh, it's another backdoor thing?
No. Governor Newsom was already, see, this is what I'm saying, and I'm going to say this. This is where I get off the boat with this. And I want people to, we don't read as Black people, and don't send me no emails and text messages, Black people. I'm not saying all of us. But we tend not to really pay attention. We pay no attention to politics. And then when they put somebody black and shiny in front of, we start doing the jazz hands and dancing the jig, not knowing that this is a whole piece of nothing. Governor Newsom has already been doing this. Why are we making this a bill to make it look like this is something that's going to be done? He's already been giving back property to black people whose stuff was taken by eminent domain. Why are we making this a bill when he's already been doing? I mean, he had the good sense and the decency to do it. Why are you making this a part of a bill?
Well,
this is a nothing burger.
That's what I felt about that slavery bill, remember? I don't know any. Well, there are still slaves around, but they're not called that.
Where?
No, people are held in slavery, like sex
traffickers.
Yeah, and all kinds of things. But I did not know that slavery was legal.
Where?
Like, I can't take you and make you my slave.
I suggest you don't.
You're right about that. Oh, Lord.
You best to leave me alone.
That'd be a hell of a fight, okay?
And I ain't gonna do none of your work.
A lazy
so
slave.
you're gonna have to beat me.
Oh, I'm gonna have to beat you.
You're gonna have to beat me right now, I'm telling you. I will not be your kissy. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are on Power88.fm. This is Tea Talk, a Global Vibe. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Wanda, Wallis, and you know it because every time we get together is absolute pure madness and pandemonium. We are going to take a quick ad break. We do. We're going to take a quick ad break live on Power88.fm, but we will be here still on YouTube Live. I know I agree with you. I told you my whole thing. I think reparations is tomfoolery. There's nothing to repair. Damage has been done.
And how do you decide?
I don't know who's going to pay for it. That's why these are nothing burgers. This is a nothing burger. And it's a nothing burger because the governor's already been giving property back. You're wasting my time even reading this. And there's nothing monetary because there's nowhere for the money to come from.
We don't have any.
And if you are truly a descendant of slave, I guarantee you, if they come up with something right now, the average person can't trace anything back, can't go find anything, don't know who nobody is, and they want them to go do it. Like, this doesn't make sense. If you know your family was held in captivity as a slave, go after the people that generationally benefited from that. It doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, it is what it is. Welcome back, Power88.fm. Welcome back to our live YouTube. This is Tamori Richardson, your host with Tea Talk, a Global Vibe, with my wonderful co-host, Wanda Wallis.
Hello.
We were just talking about the reparations. I think what should happen is, this is just me and my opinion, and I'm going to put this on the record so somebody steal it. Y'all heard it here first, and it's date stamped. Okay.
And don't make her come after you.
And do not, because you already know.
She has a string of attorneys.
I have to. I'm always in trouble. Okay, so listen. This is my thought process. If your family are descendants of slaves, that it makes sense to go after the family that owns your family if they have wealth. And go after them and get whatever that stake is. Because 9 times out of 10, if they were slaves there's probably a familial relationship because the slave owners were all sleeping with their slaves. I mean, there's very few that weren't. I believe they all were raping them to some degree. Absolutely, they were buck breaking. So absolutely. So I think that's what they should do. What I do believe that the government, the United States federal government, should be held accountable for is Jim Crow, that was legally allowed, and for the colors only, whites only. They should be held accountable for helping along the systemic oppression. But to hold them liable for the whole concept of racism, where is the money coming from? How are you going to make sure black people don't get taxed for the money? If you didn't grow up in this country, are you going to be made to pay taxes?
Right.
And you didn't have anything to do with slavery? Everybody didn't own a slave. I would assume probably 98% did. But this doesn't make sense. And because
Black people own slaves.
Black people, well, let's keep this real. Initially, Africans gave up. I'm not getting a part of that. That's her. That's all her. Send it to Wanda at.
You can say
no, absolutely not. But this has no reasoning to me. This is all emotion and this doesn't make sense. But this is a nothing burger. The California Black Caucus knows this is a nothing burger. And because it's a nothing burger, if you go look at the bill, it's a bunch of bull crap. It's a bunch of stuff we've already been promised. It's a bunch of stuff that's already in whatever. So now you're going to give people back their house. He's already been doing that. You got to smell and look between the bull crap when somebody's saying, oh, I got a new bill for you. You don't have a new nothing. He's already been handing back people their stuff, but you put it in here to make it look like this is a healthy bill and that the Democrats are giving black people something. Well, if they're giving us something, we should be better on economics. We should be better on education. We should already be better on housing. This is a nothing burger, people. Read it. Read through this whole reparations bill. You'll find out that half of it is not going to happen anyway.
And I think the governor would veto it anyway.
Well, this is nothing. He's already doing it. Of course it passed. It's already happening.
Oh, there, but okay.
Oh, well, he did before. He vetoed it before. So
the big one that our local assemblywoman.
That Edges McGruff put through. Anyway.
I didn't say that.
Let's talk about the homeless encampment. Have you heard about that? That the governor has now.
Oh, they're cleaning up.
They're cleaning up
all the cities.
I mean, I agree with it. We shouldn't have homeless encampments, but we shouldn't have had them last year, the year before, the year before that, when you couldn't, when they were forced not to remove the homeless. When, you know, when I just think of places like Vallejo and I think of places like Sassoon, that's so beautiful, like when we had our Cinco de Mayo out there, and the homeless people have nowhere to go, so some of them was there, some of them went someplace else. But before, even though there's loitering laws, you couldn't get them to move. You weren't allowed to do a lot.
You have a business, you have a restaurant, and you have a couple of homeless people right at the door doing all kinds of things.
Yeah.
How is that going to help your business?
Yeah. But what's interesting is now this has been made a priority. I'm shocked at that. I'm shocked that this is a priority.
Where are they going to put them?
I don't know. We don't have enough mental health facilities, definitely. I know we definitely don't have enough in Solano County. We don't have the Napa State Hospital anymore, do we?
It's open. Yes, it is.
It's still open?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
One of my friends works there.
Oh. Are they taking people?
The one on when you go into Lake Berryessa in downtown Napa. Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that.
I had another friend that lived. Her son was in there too.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting.
Well, you know what? It's there, but you know, all kinds of stuff happens.
Yeah, got it. I mean, so that's what we need to work on, is making sure. And I think he just did something. I sit on the Behavioral Health Advisory Board for Solano County, and he did just pass something. I don't know all the details of it. That he wants, you know, people who are ready for the infrastructure with mental health to be able to, you know, to get going and get moving. But we also have to make sure that these mental health facilities, because most of those who are homeless, we know, have mental health issues. These are the symptoms of something. It could be the symptoms of drugs. It could be the symptoms of whatever the case might be. So anyway, so we're noticing that. And then I'm looking in the newspaper and the cities are kind of moving it along. They're getting these cleaned up. And I think that's necessary. I just found out we have over 1,000 homeless in Vacaville. I don't know where that came from.
Where are they homeless?
I don't know, because you don't see anybody out in the open here.
I think that's because the police handle it, and you have the public health people too working together.
Yeah, they do pretty good out here in Vacaville. So, Mayor Laurie in San Francisco, super impressed with him. He's a new mayor in San Francisco. He's cleaning up those streets. He is not playing with people. He is very clear. He's knocking out these nonprofits who are scamming and lying and stealing and cheating, that were getting away with it from the prior administration. I mean, I like him. I like him. I think he's doing some good work, because I gotta tell you, we used to go to San Francisco a lot.
I don't like to go there.
I don't have time to be walking over no feces.
And you leave your car there for 5 minutes, come back, all the windows are broken out.
And you can't even ride BART anymore, because then you stuck on there with God knows who, walking up and down talking to herself or herself. And it's almost like it's trapped. We used to do that all the time, and just hop on the BART and go places.
No, it's a scary thing. Man.
It is. The Berkeley Flea Market is closing down.
Oh yeah, Berkeley.
Did you hear about that?
Berkeley is changing because they closed People's Park.
Wow.
That's going to be high rises.
Well, they was getting high in People's Park, wasn't they?
They closed. Now the homeless people don't have that anymore, because that is now going to be all housing for college students.
Okay. Is it? They need it.
If you go downtown, if you go near the
Because it's
college,
right near the college. That's
if
right.
you go near the college, you see all these high rises because they changed the regulations for it, and now I think you can go up to 10 stories.
Really? They need it because Berkeley does not have, they don't have enough housing for the kids that are coming there. There's a lot of foreign kids that are coming there. They just don't have enough housing for them. So I can see that and I can understand that. So that makes perfect sense.
But if you're a landlord in Berkeley, it's hard.
Oh, why?
Why? Because everybody, if somebody decides they don't want to pay you rent, you're just at their mercy. Because they can go to the Berkeley Rental Board. They have all legal assistance for them. And I know this personally from dealing with some people over there. So, no, it's very difficult. Do you know if you are selling your building in Berkeley, your property, and you tell the tenant, look, I'm selling it, let's come to an agreement, I'm going to pay you $40,000 just to go someplace else. Right. Which is robbery anyway, when they were paying $500 rent and for the last 10 years and you couldn't raise their rent, okay? Okay. So now they have 30 days. They can agree, sign on the dotted line, and now you're in contract with somebody and you say to me, I'm only taking this if the tenant isn't in there. Then on day 29, the tenant say, I changed my mind. I don't want to go. There's nothing we can do about it. Now, our deal is dead because you're not taking the tenant. Really? That's the way Berkeley is. The tenants have all the rights. Or squatters, too. Because I don't call it tenants when you're not paying your rent. Right. But that is, Berkeley landlords is a hard way. Wow. I didn't know that. Well, that's interesting. Well, too bad for that. But I mean, it's good to have more housing, and there's a lot of international students. That's not for students. That's not for students. Right? No, that's just for the regular people. Because the students come and they go. Yeah, got you. And they have a lot of international students that come by and come there as well. So that's important. Well, look, that was our entertainment, our local, and our political news for the day. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. Now, tomorrow's going to talk personal with you. I am absolutely not. Let me go back over the events. Guys, please put on your calendar. June 1st is Solano Pride is having a Solano Pride festival in the city of Sassoon, downtown on the waterfront. That's tomorrow, right? Is it? Yeah, oh, June 1st is... Okay, that's tomorrow. Yeah. Today's the 31st. The days just kind of just, they roll by. Isn't that a song? I think that's a song. That's a song. Okay. So if you are not doing anything tomorrow and you are inclined, hop on down to Sassoon. If you're inclined to go to that. Well, you should go, meet people, meet different people. Solano Pride is a part of the Solano County Black Chamber. It'll be entertaining. So, I don't know what what everything is going to be about. They're going to have they've got a lot of vendors listed. I saw that. So go down there, enjoy the day tomorrow, meet some new people. And I always say, if you don't know, ask questions. And, there you go. June 15th. Is the American Canyon Juneteenth. Mark your calendar. Now, if you guys are interested in being a vendor, or anyone who is, go to the Solano Black Chamber's social media on Facebook or Instagram. The information is there, and you can contact the beautiful Miss Brenda Knight. She's the organizer. And on June the 22nd, the Solano Christian Academy in the city of Fairfield is having their first Juneteenth. It is Bring Back the Basics. Okay. Pastor John Reed is going to be leading this is, to me, the most exciting Juneteenth, and I'm going to tell you why briefly. Because it is about the family. And what he's planning is kind of like the big old family reunion that we had back in the day, where we slapping bones and we playing cards, but we getting knowledge that we need. He's going to have information vendors that are going to be there, and people that are going to be able to, if you have the family structure, if it's, they'll have people that can help you with different things and different resources. But most importantly, even though it's being hosted by the Solano Christian Academy, it's not about religion. He is beyond awesome and just wonderful. The environment is really going to be an environment of love, how we can support each other.
and how we can get back in tune with the family. So we're going to be talking about education, financial, resiliency or literacy, if you will, and what that looks like. But the most exciting thing to me is that they're going to be vendors. So you get to shop, but you get to meet new people, get to have a good time. If you at my table playing dominoes, I talk a lot of mess. I'm telling you right now.
Well, she talks it when she's not
I'm
playing.
talking it when I am not playing. That is an accurate statement. So you guys go to SolanoBlackChamber.com, or you can also go to www.solancenter.org. And you need to register because they want to know the food is going to be free. So bring your family, leave your pets at home. Don't nobody have time for that.
Thank you.
But bring your family, bring your kids. It's going to be free food and just a good fellowshipping, a good old-fashioned family reunion.
Now, what date and time did you say?
June 22nd on a Sunday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
And we're going to have a great time.
Right after church.
Right after church.
You can come to church.
Bring your lawn chairs and stuff. I'm going to be there ready to have such a good time. Bring your lawn chairs and all of that there. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys. Now, listen, one last announcement, and you guys are going to start seeing this everywhere. We're having a prize giveaway for the month of June. This is Tea Talk, a Global Vibe. Okay. We are going to be giving away a family 4-pack of tickets to the California State Fair. Oh, that's right, in Sacramento. And it's going to include parking. So you don't have to hitchhike all the way from the parking lot and try to get to where the front entrance is.
But I thought you said, too, you were going to have that day with Tamari, too. You were going to be giving that away. To spend the day with you.
So this is why this will be your last day on the show, because ain't nobody got time for Wanda and her foolishness. I don't want to spend time with nobody, and they don't want to spend time.
I thought I heard her say that.
Wanda starts stuff. This is why this is her last day. Say goodbye to everybody, Wanda, because clearly this don't work for you no more.
She'll call me again. Okay?
But we're having a prize award, and it's going to be the first caller. So you guys look for that information. It's going to be all over social media. We'll also have it on Power88.fm. The first family, or the first person that calls in, wins a family 4-pack to the California State Fair. Mm-hmm. It is a wonderful, wonderful, I also sit on that board. It is absolutely wonderful. The State Fair, if you haven't been, it's a great opportunity to hop on the train or just get the family together.
That's right, we have the train right
We have the Amtrak, absolutely. And then mosey on down the road. So you guys, June is coming up. Starting June, we're going to talk about Juneteenth, what it is. We're going to talk about other things that are going on in the month of June. And always, if you have any comments, ideas, please reach out to Tamuri at power88.fm. That's TAMURI at power88.fm. If I've said anything to offend or that you do not like, I do not care. Don't send it to me. Don't send it to me. No, you're more than welcome to send it to me. It'll go in that special folder that I have. So thank you everybody for joining us on Saturday. If you got time, get out to a farmer's market. There's a Vacaville farmer's market. There's a Vallejo farmer's market. There's a Benicia farmer's market. But get your family together. Entrepreneurs, we are so busy Monday through Friday. We got to do stuff with the family and the kids to keep them active and knowing that they are number one. So make sure you get them and do something with your family and try to stay cool today. Wanda, thank you for being my co-host today.
Yes.
Starting trouble.
It's starting to cool down in here.
Oh, well, I got the fan on.
Yeah.
You see, I'm over here sweating like I'm an indentured servant. Is that what it was?
Wait a minute, I'm going to have a little tissue up here pretty soon.
Like James Brown. Anyway, you guys enjoy your Saturday. Thank you for listening. I am Tamari Richardson, your host on Tea Talk.
And I'm Wanda Wallis,
a global host. My co-host occasionally. Wanda just getting herself out of this seat. I don't know why she's doing it. Thank you for joining us on Saturday. We will be back. And next Saturday, my co-host will be Wanda Wallis also. She filled in today, you guys, for a missing guest. So thank you so much for filling in. You are always a great time and a lot of fun.
Yes.
You guys enjoy your Saturday, and we look forward to seeing you back next Saturday. Thank you.
Have a safe weekend.
All right. Bye-bye. I got to do this better.